The Widow Ching, Lady Pirate by Jorge Luis Borges. Any mention of pirates of the fair sex runs the immediate risk of awakening painful memories of the neighborhood production of some faded musical comedy, with its chorus line of obvious housewives posing as pirates and hoofing it on a briny deep of unmistakable cardboard. Nonetheless, lady pirates there have been, women skilled in the handling of ships, in the captaincy of brutish crews, and in the pursuit of plunder of seagoing vessels. One such was Mary Read, who once declared that the profession of pirate was not for everyone, and that to engage in it with dignity one had, like her, to be a man of courage. As the flamboyant outset of her career, when as yet she captained no crew, one of her lovers was wronged by the ship's bully. Challenging the fellow to a duel, Mary took him on with both hands, according to the time-honoured custom of the West Indies, unwieldy and none-too-sure flintlock in the left, trusty cutlass in the right. The pistol misfired, but the sword behaved as it should. Along about 1720, Mary Read's daring career was cut short by a Spanish gallows at Santiago de la Vega in Jamaica. Another lady buccaneer of those same seas was Anne Bonny, a good-looking, boisterous Irish woman with high breasts and fiery red hair, who was always among the first to risk her neck boarding a prize. She was a shipmate and, in the end, gallows mate of Mary Read. Anne's lover, Captain John Rackham, sported on noose on that occasion too. Contemptuous of him, Anne came up with this harsh variant of Aisha's reproach of Boabdil: "If you had fought like a man, you need not have been hanged like a dog." A third member of this sisterhood, more venturesome and longer lived than the others, was a lady pirate who operated in Asian waters, all the way from the Yellow Sea to the rivers of the Annam coast. I speak of the veteran Widow Ching. Around 1797, the shareholders of the many pirate squadrons of the China Seas formed a combine, which they named as admiral a man altogether tried and true, a certain Ching. So severe was this Ching, so exemplary in his sacking of the coasts, that the terror-stricken inhabitants of 80 seaboard towns, with gifts and tears, implored imperial assistance. Their pitiful appeal did not go unheard. They were ordered to put their villages to the torch, forget their fishing chores, migrate inland, and there take up the unfamiliar science of agriculture. All this they did, so that the thwarted invaders found nothing but deserted coasts. As a result, the pirates were forced to switch to preying on ships, a form of depredation which, since it seriously hampered trade, proved even more obnoxious to the authorities than the previous one. The imperial government was quick to act, ordering the former fishermen to abandon plough and yoke and mend their nets and oars. True to their old fears, however, these fishermen rose up in revolt, and the authorities set upon another course, that of pardoning Ching by appointing him master of the royal stables. Ching was about to accept the bribe. Finding this out in time, the shareholders made their righteous indignation evident in a plate of poisoned greens cooked with rice. The morsel proving deadly, the one-time admiral and would-be master of the royal stables gave up his ghost to the gods of the sea. His widow, transfigured by this twofold double-dealing, called the pirate crews together, explained to them the whole involved affair, and urged them to reject both the emperor's deceitful pardon and the unpleasant service rendered by the poison-dabbling shareholders. She proposed, instead, the plundering of ships on their own account and the election of a new admiral. The person chosen was the widow Ching. She was a clinging woman with sleepy eyes and a smile full of decayed teeth. Her blackish, oiled hair shone brighter than her eyes. Under her sober orders, the ships embarked upon danger and the high seas. "13 years of systematic adventure ensued. 6 squadrons made up the fleet, each flying a banner of a different colour: red, yellow, green, black, purple, and one, the flagships, emblazoned with a serpent. The captains were known by such names as Burden Stone, Scourge of the Eastern Sea, Jewel of the Whole Crew, Wave with Many Fishes, and Sun on High. The code of rules drawn up by the widow Ching herself is of an unappealable severity, and its straightforward, laconic style is utterly lacking in the faded flowers of rhetoric that lend a rather absurd loftiness to the style of Chinese officialdom, which we shall presently offer an alarming specimen or two. For now, I copy out a few articles of the Widow's Code. All goods transshipped from enemy vessels will be entered into a register and kept in a storehouse. Of this stock, the pirate will receive for himself, out of 10 parts, only 2. The rest shall belong to the storehouse, called the General Fund. Violation of this ordinance will be punishable by death. The punishment of the pirate who abandons his post without permission will be perforation of the ears in the presence of the whole fleet. Repeating the same, he will suffer death. Commerce with captive women taken in the villages is prohibited on deck. Permission to use violence against any women must first be requested of the ship's purser, and then carried out only in the ship's hold. Violation of this ordinance will be punishable by death. Information extracted from prisoners affirms that the fare of these pirates consisted chiefly of ship's biscuits, rats fattened on human flesh, and boiled rice, and that on days of battle, crew members used to mix gunpowder with their liquor. With card games and loaded dice, with the metal square and bowl of fantan, with the little lamp and the pipe dreams of opium, they whiled away the time.